Today on the channel, the LJN resurgence never ends, and we're back again here today with a Black Card Chase Edition, Logan Paul.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel LJN Target exclusive unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got one that feels a little strange in Series 1. It is Logan Paul, but for all your Logan Paul LJN needs, better hit up Target. But for everything else under the sun, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And as I said, Logan Paul feels a little bit strange in Series 1, as if you're like me, you think LJNs, you think of 80s, maybe even early 90s. They weren't really a thing, but you feel like they could be grandfathered in. One guy you probably don't think of is Logan Paul or like Rusev or something like that. It feels a little bit strange here, but we do know we're going to get Jey Uso LJN. We're going to get CM Punk LJN in the future. Cody Rhodes, you know that's a layup. So we're going to get some modern talent in this line, and maybe that's a separate video where we discuss the pros and cons of that. I know they want to extend this to everybody, keep this line healthy, but to me, I think it's more for the legendary collectors, people that are my age, maybe around my age bracket, a little before, a little after, whatever it may be, might want these more than others, and I can see some of those collectors saying, Logan Paul is not what I'm looking for in this line. So it'll be very interesting to see the ebbs and flows of this line in the future. We know it is shipping from Target online right now. That's where I got mine. I ordered on Target and they shipped out my pre-orders. Unfortunately, my Dusty Rhodes lost in transit currently, so I don't know if I'll end up getting Dusty or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But they are saying that around Black Friday, Thanksgiving time frame here in America, that these will be on the retail pegs, and that's where things are going to get really interesting for these LJNs. You know, the first couple of cases, maybe the first case for sure, will fly off the shelf, but it'll be interesting, the reload and the refills. Will it be like the Target Legends series that, let's be honest, every series has went to clearance? Will we see that with this one? It'll be very interesting. It'll be something to stay tuned for. Just like this review. Stay tuned because we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And once again, got a chase edition with this Logan Paul. I'm not too concerned with these chases. It is what it is. As much as I'd like to complete these mint on card, they take up too much real estate for me. I will get the Ultimate Warrior, keep that mint on card. I may get a Hogan just to have mint on card. I don't know, we'll see. But to say I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, get double up, triple up club, not going to be doing that one here. But I do like the looks of the packaging here. It is a very cool throwback, and this reminds you of the old Black Card series. Once again, the regular is the blue, black is the chase. Logan Paul looking interesting. I wonder if Logan Paul ever touched an LJN before this one. Be interesting to know. WWE superstars right there. You got Big John Studd and Hulk Hogan working each other over in the ring, looking nice. You got the little podium that holds the poster down low. Does say Logan Paul, LJN, Mattel, ages 6 and up. You 5-year-olds, you can't handle this. You can't handle it. Logan Paul looking good. On the back, you got a little of that cross sell. You know we're unboxing every single one of these on the channel, so make sure you do that. Check out the blurb. We'll read that here in a second. UPC LJN logo at the top as well. Let's see what it says about our friend Logan Paul. Logan Paul is not only one of the world's biggest social media influencers, he is also one of the most exciting superstars in WWE. The social media superstar shocks and awes fans with his mixture of high-flying offense and over-the-top personality that makes him the man you love to hate. And I tell you what, my wife hates him. Hates Logan Paul. It is her least favorite person in the world. Can you believe that? Like he's Bon Jovi or something. I mean, that's a guy that deserves the hate. Maybe Duke. Anybody ever heard of Duke? Yeah, we know what he's up to. Check out the G.I. Joe reviews. My wife, for whatever reason, just despises Logan Paul. It's funny. You like what you like, you know what you don't. She does not like Logan Paul at all. I don't know. I don't even think she's ever seen him wrestle. So that's interesting too. But we're going to get him out of the package as carefully as I can, I guess. We do got the box here. Oh, there we go. My goodness. What are we doing here, Logan? Come on out. Come out and play. There we go. Of course, I will save the card. cut that out later. See you later, goodbye. Got a little protector plastic spot. See you later, goodbye once again. What do we got here for the poster for old Logan? There it is, up high. See you later, goodbye. Got the rubber band here, all locked down, just like the old days. And as a kid, I mentioned it before, I used to save all my LJN posters, put them all up on my wall. I cut out my file cards. Simpler times, simpler times. We got Logan Paul, the main event. And you got the more modern poster on this one. So it gets a little challenging with these. Do you want the classic poster, the regular poster? I think there's 3 different posters. This is the one with the Mattel team in the background, so we've seen this before as well. So multiple posters part of this. If you're a deep cut collector, you need all those versions. Obviously, you can't see them unless you get them out of the package, is what it is. But now we're diving into Logan Paul, and a lot of controversy with this one. And Logan Paul, no stranger to controversy, of course, as there has been people talking, and it's really off of one photo. It's apparently Brian Last is the guy's name. I guess he co-hosts the podcast with Jim Cornette. I need to start listening to that podcast. I enjoy Jim Cornette. There's only so much time, but he is apparently the host or co-host with Jim Cornette of the podcast, and he showed a picture on social media that really blew up that's saying, hey, this isn't one piece, it's multiple pieces. Well, I think most of us knew that going into these. I guess apparently not, as it did create a bit of an uproar on social media that these do come apart into separate pieces. Big Rubber guys do the same thing. I'm pretty sure the Jazzwares ones did the same thing. As things have changed, technology has changed over the years, the cost to produce has changed. So this is a much easier way to be cost effective for the Big Rubber guys and LJNs here. You make these into multiple spots. You can use these lower legs for a different character. You can use the upper top for a different character. It gives more getting the most out of your molds, where the old school LJNs being absolutely one piece, that's a whole different ball game and a little bit harder to replicate with getting the most out of your mold. So that's the reason they do that stuff. And, some people saying all these break apart way too easy. Some people say the same thing about the Big Rubber guys. I got to be honest, I have to imagine most people are not playing with these. I'm sure somebody in the comments said, oh, my grandson loves to play with these. But that is far from the norm. These are collectors. These are adult figures is really what they end up being. And most people that open them, like me, they're going to display them up on a shelf. It is what it is. But I'm sure there's a couple of kids there, but you'd be fooling to see any 8-year-old kid. I want those LJNs to play with. In this day and age, they're probably wanting to play with Mattel Elites. Is what it is there. But we're going to dive into the old Logan Paul here, and we're going to start with the head sculpt department. Blue eyes. I will say the LJNs have done a good job on the eye department here. Not always easy to get on these Big Rubber guy style figures. Got the blonde hair going there. You got the beard. Got the smiling face. The $1 million smile. Depends who you ask, I guess. But looks enough like Logan Paul. I think I would know who this is because of that black headband if somebody handed it to me. But now diving into the bodysuit here for Logan Paul. He's got the yellow and black attack, which means only one thing. Logan Paul, huge Striper fan. And if I'm not mistaken, Todd McFarlane from the couch, Todd McFarlane over there. Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, but we looked this up the other day when we had this and we were talking about it. We looked up Logan Paul's mom. And, you got to be careful when you look up these things. But we found out that Logan Paul's mom, her maiden name before being Paul, yep, you guessed it, Sweet. Yes, Sweet. I believe the brother of one Michael Sweet. Somebody fact check it. I wouldn't do it. Todd already did the work. But Logan Paul, part of the Sweet dynasty. Of course, Striper, huge Striper fan, rocking the yellow and black attack. Writes itself right here. Carrying on the family lineage, this time in the wrestling ring instead. But yellow and black attack looking very nice. Got all the color here. Very glossy, a little slippery with this figure. Logan Paul on the back there. Looking interesting. Got the big vest over the top. Got the black elbow pads here. He's got a splayed out hand. He's going to slap you. And then we got a gripping hand here. And it's always interesting. I always try to put my brain back to being like a 6-7-year-old kid playing with my LJNs, saying, could I have played with this figure? Now, he doesn't got any fists or anything, but this would be a good high flyer figure. Kind of reminds you of the Rick Martel, Tito Santana Strike Force days from LJN. I think he'd kind of play similar to those ones. So not the greatest, but not the worst. He can do a few moves here, much akin to a Strike Force once upon a time. So don't mind that at all here. Very cool boots down here in the black and the yellow. You got the kick pads there looking nice. The yellow trim really gives this a little extra pizzazz, as you can imagine. But not bad, all things considered. Made in China on these, which is interesting with all the elites and everything else. Vietnam, this is China. is what it is at this point. And you guessed it, no articulation on these figures at all, so is what it is. Happy to report he stands up on his own. That is so key to LJN, big rubber guys. I don't care what it is. We shouldn't have to have a stand. We shouldn't have to try to balance these. They should stand on their own. The LJN's pretty rough, some of them over the years. Even some of the early big rubber guys, rough to stand. But I think both companies, be it LJN here, big rubber guys, have figured out how to get these figures to stand. And that's so key to these big figures, these big rubber guy figures. But how about a little John Cena comparison? We just unboxed him recently here. Definitely an interesting one with John Cena and Logan Paul. They squared off not too long ago, and who knows, maybe Logan Paul will be in the retirement John Cena tour. I don't think so, but you never know what might happen. But the size-wise, I guess that looks maybe okay. Cena a little bit big. Scaling never was super appropriate, though, with the LJN, so I guess we're dancing that line here today as well. But John Cena, Logan Paul, you can kind of see the difference between these two. But this one really reminds me of a Rick Martel, Strike Force, Tito Santana style figure. And I think that makes a lot of sense, all things considered. But there it is, Logan Paul, LJN Mattel. Never thought I'd see the day here. Going to be very interesting to see if this is the peg warmer of the bunch. To me, you get some guy that, collected LJNs as a kid, played with them. He goes to the store. Oh my gosh, Dusty Rhodes? How cool is this? Hulk Hogan? How cool is this? Maybe even John Cena. Oh, I watched John Cena in college. I like his movies. I'm going to grab that. But then you get to Logan Paul. Maybe a little bit rough if you're over, 30-some years old. Now, young kids may be interested in Logan Paul. However, are they collecting action figures or are they just liking his YouTube stuff? So going to be interested to see where this Logan Paul goes with our business hat on here in just a couple of weeks when they start hitting general market out at store level. So there it is, Logan Paul. Be interested to hear your thoughts on this Logan Paul. Pick up, pass, long game, no game, not so sure game. Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is my podcast each and every Tuesday with my wife, Angie. Check out the podcast, video cast available on YouTube as well. So for Michael Sweet, Striper, and Logan Paul, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?